Welcome to Biff's Mystery Theater. I have many tales to tell you. Ghost stories, murder stories, and tales that will make your bones chill. Join me, won't you? For Theater of the Mind, where you always have the best seat in the house. Now close your eyes and turn off the lights.
Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Lord Byron, if I recall correctly, first said, "Sweet is revenge. But revenge is mine, saith the Lord," according to the Bible. The truth would seem to be that sweet indeed is revenge, while the moment lasts. But the victim of revenge will himself be avenged, one way or another, by a power not of this world, surely the power of God. In any case, had Arno Montresor not revenged himself on Fortunato Bellini and enjoyed to the full that moment of sweetness, he would never have experienced the shock and terror that surged through him when Inspector Murdaro said,
"Arno, I arrest you for the murder of Fortunato Bellini."
Me? You arrest me? For murder?
Playing the innocent will do you no good, Arno. I've got you dead to rights. I have found the body.
Impossible. You couldn't. I mean, say you...
You just slipped. How would you know it was impossible if you didn't know where the body was? But that was your second slip, Arno. A slip you wouldn't have made if you hadn't made the first.
The first?
Yes. You committed the perfect crime, my friend. Perfect except for one single, simple little mistake.
What mistake? What mistake?
Our mystery drama, The Cask of Amontillado, was especially adapted from the Edgar Allan Poe classic For the Mystery Theater by George Lothar and stars Richard Kiley. It is sponsored in part by imported Vigna Rosé wine and Buick Motor Division. I'll be back shortly with Act One. We were talking about revenge, I believe. Yes, revenge. An emotion, a passion that came to burn fiercely in the breast of a certain wine grower named Arno Montresor. A consuming fire he at last managed to quench with, oddly enough, a cask, a barrel of Amontillado sherry. It all began, this strange and terrifying tale, at the famous Montresor vineyards in Tuscany, Italy. There, on a certain day, in the office of Arno Montresor, Fortunato Bellini sealed his doom.
But I must have the 1923 vintage, Arno. No other Amontillado will do. You must manage to find more for me.
I would if I could perform miracles, but I can't. I've been in touch with every wine grower, every merchant in Spain. I've scoured all of Mantilla, where Amontillado is made. I can't find even a bottle of the 23 vintage, and you ask for barrels, casks.
Well, a bottle is only a drop to me, you know that. You wouldn't be trying to raise the price on me.
What?
Considering the money you owe me, the loans I've made you, I wouldn't be surprised if you...
Are you out of your mind, Fortunato? How could I possibly make enough money to pay you back by raising the price of the Amontillado you drink? You don't drink that much.
Which is why I have my suspicions about you, Arno.
What are you...
The catacombs beneath your vineyard. You took me down to the 3rd level not so long ago and showed me. Why, there must have been at least a half-dozen casks of Amontillado.
More than a year ago. There weren't a half-dozen, there were only 4. And you've drunk them all. If there is one bottle, one drop of 1923 Amontillado left in Spain, in the world, I can't find it for you. Now, this discussion is at an end.
Not altogether. I have another matter to take up with you. Money you owe me.
Well, what about it? I've been paying the interest regularly.
But I need the principal. Business has been bad, and I'm in need of money. I'm afraid, Arno, I must ask you to repay me.
Repay? Fortunato, I don't think you realize what you're asking. I'm in no position at this time to... Come in. Margarita, my dearest.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, darling. And you, Signor Bellini.
You do disturb me, Signora Montresor. Always. But not in the way you mean.
Well, what is it, Margarita?
Tonio is waiting to see you. It's urgent, he says.
What's the trouble?
Something about the dampness in the 3rd level of the catacombs. He says it's getting worse and changing the temperature.
Yes, the dampness is increasing down there. I'll talk to him in a few minutes.
Very well, darling. Good to see you, Signor Bellini.
It's more than good to see you, Signora. It is a feast to my eyes.
I can't help noticing. Good day.
She seemed offended with me, your wife.
You never took your eyes off her.
Oh, can you blame me? So young, so...
About the money I owe you, Fortunato.
1 week, Arno.
1 week?
You know our agreement. The loan's payable on demand, or...
you can sell me out, but there was never any thought of that.
There is now, I'm afraid.
But you wouldn't. You can't.
I must. I need the money.
You've got to give me more time. I'll do anything you ask. Anything within reason.
Within reason, you say, eh?
Yes. What is it?
Well, you know how I feel about your lovely wife. Just looking at her makes me feel young again.
What are you saying?
The thought has crossed my mind more than once, Arno, that... what a pleasure it would be if she would come to dinner with me one night.
Yes, we'd be delighted to.
And not we. Not you. Her. Alone.
If you mean what I think you mean, get out.
Very well. Oh, no.
Get out, I said.
I'm going. But remember, you have 1 week from today.
All the filthy obscene... Yes, come in.
I just saw Signor Bellini leave. If you can see Tonio now... Arno, what is it?
Oh, nothing.
Something's happened to upset you. I can see it in your face. What is it?
Oh, Bellini, he's given me a week to repay the money I owe him, or he'll sell me out.
Oh, no.
But that's not all. What got me angered was...
Yes?
He said he'd be willing to give me an extension if you'd have dinner with him.
What you mean is if I...
Yes.
Of all the thought of it. That fat, repulsive... But, Arno, darling, what are you going to do? Can he take the vineyard if you don't pay him in a week?
The vineyard, the wine stocks in the catacombs below, the house, everything.
But we'll be ruined.
Yes, ruined.
Oh, my dearest, there must be something we can do. Something.
If you think of something, Margarita, let me know.
And when the maid said you were here to see me, I didn't believe it possible. What a pleasure, Signora Montresor. What a very real pleasure to discover I was wrong.
Why would you think my paying you a visit, Signor Bellini, an impossibility?
To be altogether honest with you, Signor, Margherita, if I may say.
Of course you may, Fortunato.
I'd always thought you didn't exactly care too much for me.
To be altogether honest with you, I don't.
Then why are you here?
If you force Arno to repay what he owes you in 1 week, he'll be ruined.
Yes?
You offered to give him an extension of time if I would have dinner with you.
Yes?
I've thought about it. Suppose I came to lunch, say. Arno and I don't see much of each other during the day, and I'm often out shopping, so there'd be no need to explain where I'd been.
Wonderful.
If you cancel Arno's debt altogether.
Cancel it?
Totally.
Oh, my dear, you are as clever as you are desirable. But I'm afraid you take me for a fool.
Why?
Forgive the debt altogether and enjoy your company only once? When by giving extensions of time, I can enjoy it many times over. What do you take me for?
An extension wouldn't help very much.
But it would help when he needs help. It's either that, Margarita, or ruin for you as well as him. Lunch, then. Say tomorrow at 1?
Tomorrow at 1.
I said, where have you been all afternoon?
Arno, dearest, I told you. Shopping.
What did you buy?
Nothing. I couldn't find what I wanted. A bag, a new bag to go with those shoes I bought last week, and I thought I might find a hat to go with...
You were with Bellini. Isabella told me.
Isabella?
His daughter. You know his daughter. The one he sent to visit our aunt for the afternoon. Only the aunt wasn't at home, and she came back to find you with her father in her father's bed.
I did it for you.
Did what for me? Shame me?
No one need ever know.
I know. Me, I know. I want to die. I have died.
Arno, darling.
Darling.
Listen to me, please listen. I love you. Only you.
I don't want to hear.
Please, oh, please. Since the day of our marriage, I have watched you work yourself to the bone to keep the Montresor vineyards going, to hold on to the heritage, your heritage of more than a century. I have so admired you for what you do, so loved you for the man, the husband you are. I couldn't bear to see you ruined, and so I helped you in the only way I knew, the only way I could. Bellini is going to extend the loans another...
The devil with the loans! And Bellini and his extensions. You stand there and tell me you couldn't bear to see me ruined, and in the same breath admit you ruined me.
No!
Ruin me as a man. Ruin me as a respected member of the community. You think everyone will know about this? With Isabella and her tongue? I can hear them laughing behind my back. All of them. Laughing.
Arno, I beg you don't talk this way. Isabella won't talk. No one will ever...
I will! And I can never look at you again without knowing what you did. I could never hold you in my arms. Never sleep with you again without knowing. Adulterous!
Arno!
I could kill you for what you've done to me. Kill you!
Your hand. My throat. Arno!
Kill! Kill you! Margarita. Is dead. Yes. And you should be for what you've done. Oh, how gentle. Sweet. How beautiful and desirable. What am I to do? What am I to do? Yes. body must be hidden. Hidden. But how? How can I... Yes. That's it. The catacombs. Alive. He's alive.
Oh, my throat.
Just work fast. Fast.
Arno, what? I can see only your head and shoulders. Where am I?
Does it matter where you are?
What are you doing?
Walling you up.
Walling me?
You know the catacombs as well as I do. The outer walls have caved in places. There are openings that can be walled up. No one the wiser to what lies behind them.
Oh, no. Arno, no.
Another stone. 2 more. Only 2 more.
I love you. I did what I did because I love you.
And I love you.
Then why are you doing this? Pull the stones away. Tear them down.
No, I cannot. I will not. You are mine, but you became his. You loved me, and you loved him.
No!
Gave yourself to him.
For your sake.
You didn't want him.
How can you say?
Because it could be true. How do I know it isn't? How will I ever know?
Oh, my God.
I can't believe this. What I just said, I don't believe. But my mind is stained with the thought. My heart is shattered by it. You must die. Darling, you must.
If killing me, revenging yourself on me, will help you, Arno, put in the last stone. There is nothing left for me now. Nothing of me but my love for you. Stone. Put it in place.
Yes.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I will always love you.
His heart, his soul smashed to bits, Arno Montresor sends his wife to her death, walling her up on the first and uppermost level of the catacombs. Oscar Wilde, our old friend, said, "Each man kills the thing he loves." All my life, I've never been able to understand what he meant by that. Perhaps I do now. Perhaps you do too. I'll return shortly for Act 2. Murder will out, it has been said. And yet it's hard to see how the murder of Margarita Montresor by her husband Arno will ever be discovered. For he has carefully walled her up on the top level of the catacombs beneath his vineyard. It's possible, indeed altogether likely, that had he been content with that, he would never have been found out. But a consuming passion to revenge himself on Fortunato Bellini has taken possession of him now. A passion that is to drive him into making one single, simple little mistake.
Come in, Isabella. Come in. What an unexpected pleasure. Sit down. Have a glass of wine? This Lacrima Christi is particularly good.
Thank you.
Well, now, why have you come to see me?
I'm not sure, but guilt, I suppose. Shame.
What do you mean?
The story's all over town that you and Margarita have split up, that she's left you. Is it true?
Not entirely. I've let people believe that because I don't care what they think, but you, I can tell the truth. I threw her out.
Yes, and you can tell me the truth because I'm responsible. I'm the one who came running to tell you about her being with my father.
Is that why you feel guilty? Ashamed?
If I had minded my own business, none of this would have happened. You and Margarita would still be happily together.
A false happiness built on unfaithfulness.
Perhaps, but I had no right to do what I did. It was just that I was so surprised, so shocked at finding her with my father together. I lost my head. I must apologize, beg forgiveness.
I don't know where Margarita is, and I don't want to know. Have you told your father about finding him and Margarita together?
No, I wouldn't dare. I think he would kill me, and you must never tell him either.
Don't worry. I don't intend to. Oh, another glass?
Thank you, no. I'll go now.
Well, let me see you to the door. Carnival week begins tonight. I suppose you're looking forward to it.
You know better than that, Signor Montresor.
I know.
Everyone knows that I never go to the carnival.
Oh, why not?
Come on now. You know. I can never find anyone to take me, that's why. There isn't a boy in town who'd want to be seen with anyone as plain and unattractive as me.
Plain? Unattractive?
Oh.
Well, you shock me. I've always thought of you as, well, anything but unattractive.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, I mean it. Well, don't misunderstand me. I mean, well, I'm almost old enough to be your father, and I wouldn't want you to think... Well, what I'm saying is, if you'd be willing to go to the carnival tonight with me...
You?
Yes, well, why not? I'm alone, you're alone. We could at least be alone together. Yes, and you'd have the fun of going to the carnival at last.
Oh, I don't know.
I do. I'll call for you at 10. I won't take no for an answer.
Oh, Signor Montres.
And another thing. Call me Arno. See you at 10?
Yes.
I'll be looking forward to it.
Oh, and so will I. So will I. Arno.
Inspector Madero? The police?
Yes, senor.
What do you want with me?
A matter of routine, senor, nothing more. It's about your wife.
Yes? What about her?
It's come to our attention at headquarters that your wife is no longer living with you.
Correct.
Would you mind telling me why?
Well, we've separated.
For what reason? If you'd rather not tell...
No, I'm happy to tell. We simply couldn't get along anymore. We were incompatible. Constant quarreling. It became too much, so we decided to split up.
And she went elsewhere?
Yes.
Where?
I don't know.
You don't?
No, I don't. To tell you the truth, I don't care.
You have no idea where she might have gone? Back to her parents, perhaps? Relatives?
Well, her parents are dead. As for relatives... Why are you asking all these questions?
There is some talk of murder.
Murder? Oh, no, you mean she's met with foul play, been murdered?
No. The talk about town is that... You know how gossip spreads, senor. And of course, there's nothing to this. Still and all, the police must check it out. The talk is that you murdered her. It is silly, of course.
That's ridiculous. Utterly and completely ridiculous. Well, now, if you'll excuse me, Inspector, I have much to do.
The relatives...
The what?
Your wife, you said she has relatives.
Oh, yes. A sister in Rome and another in Florence.
I'd appreciate it if you'd give me their names and addresses.
Well, certainly. Only... Well, if you ask me, Inspector Madero, the police are making a mountain out of a molehill.
A matter of routine, senor. Routine. Nothing more.
Enjoying yourself, Isabella?
Oh, Arno, I am. You have no idea. Thank you for bringing me. It's so wonderful. There must be thousands and thousands of lights, all kinds of colors, and the music and the people in costume and fireworks. Arno, the fireworks have started. Let's get closer.
Well, we can, but pushing through this crowd is going to be... Hey, what? Come on, Chester, stop blocking my way.
Why, no, it's me, Fortunato.
Father, I didn't know you were dressing up as a court jester.
Yes. How are you, Arno?
Well enough, Fortunato, and you?
Well, fine, except, I've been a little troubled, a little puzzled not hearing from you, especially after I gave you a 3-month extension on the loan.
Well, I've been very busy, Fortunato. Very busy. Harvest time, you know. I just haven't had a moment to myself.
Yes, but still and all. Well, never mind. This is a night for fun and pleasure, which reminds me, have you managed to find some 23 Amontillado for me?
Well, the truth is, Fortunato, that... Now, I don't want to get your hopes raised,
You
but...
have found some.
No, not yet, but I may. Now, I say I may have located a barrel of it in Mantilla.
Old Cask? Oh, if that is only true.
My agent is checking. I'll let you know.
As soon as you do, don't waste a minute. Get it over from Spain as fast as you can.
I'll do my best.
Well, see you later.
Look! Oh, Anna, look! The skyrocket all exploding at the same time.
It's subside, isn't it?
It certainly is, Signor Montresor.
Oh, Inspector Madero.
Well met, Signor. And isn't this Signorina Bellini with you?
Yes, Isabella, this is Inspector Madero of the police.
How do you do?
Enjoying the carnival, I hope?
Oh, yes.
Oh, Arno. By the way, she didn't go to her relatives.
What?
Your wife. She didn't go to her sister in Rome or Florence. We checked. They haven't seen her.
Oh, well, she must have gone elsewhere then.
Of course. The question is, where? You have no idea, as you said, Signor.
No?
Yes. Well, I'll just have to keep looking till I find her.
Arno, take me home now. I shouldn't have come to your house in the first place.
Oh, just another glass of wine, Isabella.
No. I can't seem to get up from the chair. What's happened to me?
I've drugged you, that's what's happened.
Drugged me?
To make killing you, murdering you, easier.
Murder?
You stupid, ugly little fool. You really believed me when I said I found you not unattractive? That I'd be delighted to escort you to the carnival?
What? Arno, what are you saying?
I'm saying that I'm going to do the same with you that I did with Margarita. Wall you up in the catacombs below.
You killed her? Then walled her up?
Oh, no. Oh, she was alive when I did it. At least she was when I put the last stone in place. But she didn't last long after that, I'm sure. It couldn't have been more than an hour or so before she suffocated to death.
Suffocate? I've got to get out of here. I can't move.
No, you can't, so you might as well stop trying. You haven't a chance, Isabella. Not a chance.
Why are you doing this to me?
Revenge. Revenge for what your father did to me. Revenge for what Margarita did to me. Revenge for what you did to me.
I?
You are right, you see. If you hadn't come running to me, falling over yourself to tell me what you'd seen, I'd never have known Margarita. My beloved Margarita. I'd never have known she'd been unfaithful. But you had to tell me. You and your wagging, gossiping tongue.
I didn't think.
I'll pick you up in my arms.
No.
And carry you down to the catacombs. At the second level below.
No.
And wall you up as I walled up Margarita.
Please.
Think what it will be like. As slowly one stone after another goes into place. A growing coffin lid for a stone coffin. Think of the agony that lies ahead when the last stone is placed and mortared in tight. Tight. And the air is cut off. And slowly, in agony and horror, you suffocate. Smother to death. Tell me now, little gossip. What have you to say to that? nothing. Holding you in my arms, looking into your eyes filled with fright, with terror. You have nothing to say. Oh, you must have something. Surely there's some word you can speak, some sound you can make. That's it, again.
Consumed by revenge, Arno Montresor bears the numbed body of Isabella away to the catacombs below, as the terror in her heart pours from her throat. And if I'm not mistaken, Fortunato Bellini will be next in line for Arno's vengeance. We'll see when I return shortly for Act 3. Our theme, as I have said, is revenge. But in the Cask of Amontillado, we are also dealing with the perfect crime. What more perfect place for concealing a body, concealing it for even centuries, than in the wall of a catacomb, an ancient burial ground beneath the earth, itself a house of bones and skulls and skeletons. Arno Montresor has done this with his unfaithful wife Margarita, and now with Isabella, daughter of Fortunato, who seduced Margarita. But, as with all perfect crimes, the criminal inevitably goes one step too far.
Worried sick, Arno. What could have happened to Isabella after she left you?
Fortunato, my good friend, I wish I could tell you, though. Really, I do think you're worrying unnecessarily.
Now, what do you mean, unnecessarily? You say you brought her home last night at 12:30. That when I returned from the carnival at 3 this morning, she was not in the house. And here it is 2 in the afternoon the next day. Where is she?
You ask me, she may have met with some friends and stayed with them.
No, I don't think so. It isn't like her, not like her at all. I must go to the police. I should have gone to them before this.
Oh, wait a little while yet. She'll show up. And by the way, I think I may have a surprise for you tonight. A pleasant surprise.
What do you mean?
You'll see.
The Amontillado. You have found me some Amontillado.
I didn't say that.
That's what you mean. Where did you find it? How much of it?
Oh, now, you're running ahead of yourself and me. I said nothing about finding any Amontillado.
If you knew how much it means to me, the craving I have for that 1923 vintage.
I know. And believe me, when I tell you I've moved heaven and earth to find some for you.
And you have.
I didn't say that. And I'm not going to say another word until I'm sure I have the surprise for you.
And when will that be?
Perhaps tonight. Perhaps tomorrow. Perhaps never. I'll send a message to you. All right, keep moving. I want those grapes in before sundown.
Senor Montresor. A word with you?
Oh, Inspector, I'm very busy, as you can see.
Only a few minutes, no more.
Well, what?
Signor Bellini, you know him, I think.
Yes, we're very old friends.
He has reported his daughter missing, Isabella. You took her to the carnival last night, is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Why?
Why? I felt sorry for her. I began to learn what it's like to be lonely, and I've just felt sorry for her. A girl her age should have some fun out of life. Lord knows there's little enough.
True. About your wife, would you have any news for me?
News?
Have you heard from her? A letter, a message of some kind?
No.
Well, if you do, be sure to let me know.
I will. Now, I must get back to my work. All right, you there, bring up the next cart.
One thing more, senor.
Yes, what?
I understand that the vineyard is built on catacombs, early Christian catacombs beneath us here.
Well, yes, where my house stands over there used to be a monastery. Of course, that was centuries ago.
Interesting, very interesting. You know, I have never been inside a catacomb.
Oh, is that so? No, not those baskets. Not those baskets.
Even when I was in Rome. I was wondering if you'd mind if I went down into yours.
Why, no, not at all. I'll take you down myself sometime.
Excuse me, senor. Excuse me. I'm wondering if you might have seen a girl. She's 18. Her name is Isabella Bellini, and excuse me, signorina. Excuse me. Do you happen to know Isabella?
Fortunato, I've been looking all over for you.
Oh, she hasn't come home. No one has seen her. Everyone I've asked is...
What are you talking about?
Isabella. Would I be out here on the second night of Carnival if I hadn't...
Didn't you get my message?
What message?
I found her.
What?
I had to come into town late this afternoon to pick up the cask of Amontillado.
Amontillado? A cask of Amontillado?
Yes, that's the surprise. My agent at Montilla several weeks ago, he found a whole cask.
No.
1923 vintage.
Oh.
Anyway, it arrived today, and when I came into town to get it, I ran into Isabella.
Cask, a whole cask?
I took her to my house. Dead on her feet from lack of sleep, and my house was the closest, so...
Then she's safe. Good. But the wine...
At my place, too, of course. Come on along. What a lucky night for you, my friend.
Yes.
You found your daughter and your favorite wine.
Good Lord, Arno. How far down into your infernal catacombs must we go?
To the third level. The lowest. This is the second. One more.
Why did you have to...
Careful.
Oh.
Parts of the walls have broken down. Take care not to trip on broken stones.
And now that I've turned my ankle, you tell me. Now, why did you have to bring the cask, a whole cask, down to the lowest level?
The dampness. Very damp. Dampest part of the catacombs. See, the walls here are sweating with condensation.
Yes, but why did you have to bring...
I'm afraid all you know about wine, Fortunato, is how to drink it. When a place is damp, it's cool. The damper, the cooler. And casks of wine must be stored in... Oh, here we are. Precede me.
Yeah.
Hold the torch high to give light ahead.
Of all places to store wine, bones, skulls, skeletons. More a grave than a wine cellar.
A grave? Yes. The grave of people buried here centuries ago. And now, yours. Your grave, fool. So, you're coming to your senses, Fortunato. Good. Because I want you to feel. I want you to savor every moment of horror that lies before you.
My head. Oh, no. What's happened?
I knocked you out. Picked up a rock and knocked you out with it.
But why? What's this, my arms? My legs, I can't move them.
Because you're manacled to bolts in the wall.
Oh, what are you doing to me?
Walling you up, my friend, as I walled up Margarita, walled up Isabella, so you can die in agony of horror, die of suffocation as they did.
Oh, no, let me go. Release me, I beg you.
You can beg till your tongue rots in your mouth. It'll do you no good.
Anything. I'll do anything you wish. I'll give you anything you wish.
You're doing that already, giving me exactly what I wish. Revenge, Fortunato. Revenge. That's it, fool. Fight to free yourself while I put another stone in place. Think of what's to come. When the last stone, this one, goes in place. Darkness, blackness, the blackness of the grave. The grave made of walls covered with wet slime. The grave for the living. For you, you die slowly. Slowly die of suffocation. Last stone. See, fool? See? Watch now as I put it in place. Watch. Eyes can't tear themselves from it, eh? Let me look into them, your eyes, and enjoy, relish, taste the hideous fear, the ghastly horror of your soul. Into place it goes. Into place. Last stone. Now. Looks Inspector Montero. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Why, in a way, Senor Montresor, it's at your invitation.
I invited you?
Several weeks ago. You recall I mentioned that I'd never been down in the catacombs, and you said you would take me on a tour sometime.
Oh, that, yes. Well, I'm delighted to do so, but not today. I haven't the time.
I'm afraid the tour of the catacombs must be made today.
It's impossible, Inspector. I assure you, if I had the time to take you on a tour,
I'm sorry, I should have made myself clear. I'm talking about me taking you on a tour.
You taking me?
Oh, yes. I've already seen them. Your overseer showed me around this morning, after I showed him the search warrant.
What are you trying to tell me?
That you're under arrest for the murder of Signor Fortunato Bellini, his daughter Isabella, and your wife Margarita.
You're out of your mind.
No, but I think you were out of yours. I must congratulate you, Signor. You came close, very close, to committing the perfect crime. But you overlooked one single factor, one very small thing.
What?
We'll go down, and I'll show you.
No.
Yes.
Fortunato's body. Exposed to view. The wall torn down. How did you find him?
We didn't.
But who broke the wall down then?
No one. It collapsed of its own weight. You see, Senor, the one mistake you made, the one thing you forgot, was the dampness on this third level. The excessive moisture. The wetness.
The cement. The cement wouldn't dry. It didn't dry.
So, as always with a perfect crime, there is some slight imperfection. Indeed, so very slight as not to be noticed by the murderer, to his deep regret. I'll be back shortly. During the rehearsal of our adaptation of the Cask of Amontillado, a friend of mine visiting the studio said, "You know, E.G., this isn't the Poe story exactly as he wrote it." I agreed that it wasn't and explained that there's such a vast difference between story writing and playwriting that no adaptation can follow any story exactly. However, I also explained that our respect and admiration for Edgar Allan Poe impelled us to retain all of the original story where possible, and, above all, its chilling horror. We have reason to think Mr. Poe is pleased, and that you are too. Our cast included Richard Kiley, Francis Sternhagen, Roberta Maxwell, Leon Janney, and Robert Dryden. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown. Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Someone said to me the other day, "You know, E.G., you talk a lot about imagination." At first I thought he might be right, but the more I thought about it, the more it seemed to me he was wrong. As far as I can see, there isn't a more powerful force in the world than imagination. After all, I made a career with mine, in films, TV, on the stage, imagining myself to be all sorts of characters. And you, well, you derive much pleasure from yours when you become the hero or heroine of the stories I bring you. As tonight, each woman will become Dora, and each man Charles Daring, caught up in circumstances which, well, listen.
That clock. The clock.
What, Dora? What?
Oh, that clock, Charlie. It's going to drive me up the wall.
Oh, come on now. It's only a clock. Grandfather clock.
It never stops, day and night. It goes on and on like his heart. He said, your Uncle Jonas said that its beat was like his own heart. Steady, solid, never stopping. Charlie, we've got to get out of here. We've got to leave this awful place.
I know, but where can we go, Dora? Where? We're trapped.
Our mystery drama, The Telltale Heart, was especially adapted from the Edgar Allan Poe classic for the Mystery Theater by George Lothar and stars Fred Gwynne. It is sponsored in part by Buick Motor Division and Sign-Off, the sinus medicines. I'll be back shortly with Act One. As you know, I've always had an intense interest in diaries, the day-to-day journals of those who, for one reason or another, recorded the events of their daily lives. This strange tale I bring you now is remarkable not only for the horror it records, but also because it was written by a patient in a state asylum for the criminal insane. A man named Charles Daring, who on a day not long ago wrote...
True. I am nervous. I've always been nervous, but why do they say I'm mad? My sick nerves had sharpened my senses. Not destroyed them or dulled them. Why, take my sense of hearing. Acute. My ears have all sharp. So, nervous, yes. Mad, no. Judge for yourself. Listen to how calmly I can tell you the whole story of what happened. Beginning with the day I arrived at Uncle Jonas's farm with my dear wife, Dora, and my daughter, Ruth. Well, we're here. I didn't think the old bus would make it.
Charlie, are you all right?
Yeah.
You're trembling.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
Take one of your pills anyway.
I'm okay. I said, Dora, I'm okay. I'm sorry. Guess I am a bit keyed up. Long, tiring trip. Near 14 hours. Worrying the car was going to break down, but I'm all right now. We're here.
Looks lonely, Daddy. Real lonely.
Oh, Ruthie. It's a roof over our heads till things get better.
Hello there. Hello. Here at last, I see. I thought you'd never get here. Of course, you're little Charlie Daring, my nephew. All grown up now, though, huh?
Hello, Uncle Jonas. Gosh, it's good to see you.
And this beautiful young woman is your wife, Dora, huh? And this charming little girl, your daughter, Ruth.
That's right.
Well, come on in. Our place is, might run down, I'm afraid, but, well, you know, I'm not as young as I used to be, and being way out here in what's practically wilderness, it's hard to get help.
Well, you'll have me now, Uncle Jonas.
Yeah. Only, are you up to working, Charlie? You said in your letter you were sick. Reason you lost your job in the city and couldn't find another.
Oh, well, now, about that...
Oh, don't be embarrassed, boy. Out with it. Just tell me the truth of it. No. Better still. You tell me, Dora.
Charlie isn't really sick. I mean, physically. He's as strong as any other man, and he's healthy, too. Only, it's his nerves, that's all.
That's all? Well, that's a lot, ain't it?
Well, no, not really. It's just that now and then he gets these terrible headaches that kind of knock him out, and he starts trembling and sweating, and it's kind of a cold sweat.
Well, now, this sounds real bad.
No, it isn't, Uncle Jonas, honest. These attacks, they don't happen all the time. Not much, only now and then. And I've got these pills the doctor gave me, and, well, listen, You'll see. I'm going to earn our keep here, Uncle Jonas. Make you glad you took us in when we needed a roof over our heads. I'm a hard worker, Uncle Jonas. A real hard worker.
Well, sure you are, Charlie. And I'm sure Dora is, too.
Oh, yes.
And Ruth. She looks like a good, strong girl for her age. And how old are you, Ruthie?
9, sir.
9 years old. My gracious, would you believe I'm 60 years older than you? Know what I've got it in mind for you to do?
No, sir.
Something you like. Feeding the chickens. Now, won't that be fun?
Oh, yes, sir.
Of course it will. And milking the cows. Well, I guess you'll have to learn how to do that, but old Uncle Jonas will show you. Oh, then there's the horses. Jake and Jenny use them for plowing, you know. You'll want to take care of them, feed them, clean their stalls, change their hay.
Excuse me, Uncle Jonas.
Yes, Charlie, yes?
Ruth is a healthy girl, all right, strong for her age and all, but, well, all those chores, I think they might be just a bit too much for her.
Oh, no, not at all. You're good, Charlie. Make a woman of her.
Well, look, suppose I milk the cows.
But you'll be out in the fields by that time, plowing, seeding, cultivating, getting the crops in and all like that.
Oh, yeah. Well, I see.
Dora will be so busy in the house, you know, cooking, washing, housework and such. Well, she won't have time for that, so... Oh, no. I got it all figured out, Charlie. You just leave it to me. Well, say now, the way you look, maybe you didn't mean it when you said you meant to work for your keep. Now, time for bed, so I better show you to your room.
Bed? But the sun's only just gone down behind the mountain.
Yeah, that's right. It gets dark fast this time of year. See, Charlie, I don't like to waste kerosene keeping lamps going all night.
But, Uncle Jonas...
We get up with the chickens, we go to bed with the chickens, Dora.
I was only going to say that we haven't eaten anything since noontime.
Oh, hungry are you?
Well, yes.
Well, let's see what I can scare up in the kitchen. Not much right now, I'm afraid. An old man like me don't eat very much. Kind of get out of the habit.
Charles, what have we got ourselves into?
Sounds like he means to work us hard.
To death, more like it. Charlie, I don't like your uncle. He scares me.
Dora was right. As always, Uncle Jonas did mean to work us to death, or at least until we dropped, and always laughing jovially, joking that city life had weakened us, and farm work would soon make us strong. Well, as day went into week, we grew more and more exhausted from overwork and hungrier from lack of enough food. One morning in the kitchen...
Charlie, you're back from the fields early.
Early? It's nearly 12, and I've been plowing and seeding since before dawn. I'm pushed. Got a cup of coffee.
I'll see if there's any left in the pot. He only lets me make one pot for the day, you know.
I know. Where's Ruth?
She was lying down. She came in from cleaning the horse stall, said she felt faint. She went to lie down, but...
But what?
He sent her out again. Said there was nothing wrong with her. Said she was faking.
I've got to do something about all this. It can't go on.
What can you do? We're broke. We're penniless. Miles from nowhere with a broken-down car. We're trapped.
If I could only fix that carburetor. But I need a new part, a butterfly valve.
Oh, forget it. We haven't got a chance.
Maybe we have. The game warden.
Game warden? Here. That's what's left of the coffee.
A fellow named Harrington. Something like that. He came by the other day. All the way from Pomfret. Stopped to talk for just a minute. Said he makes it out this way about once a month or so, and if he could get that part for me in Pomfret.
Well, now, what's this in the kitchen instead of in the fields, drinking coffee at this hour, Charlie?
Oh, I'm sorry, Uncle Jonas, but I just had to have something to keep me going.
Sorry? Oh, nothing to be sorry about, Charlie. If you're tired out, you're tired out. Nerves, huh?
No. Nerves, okay.
Can't be. Got to be your nerves. Can't be the work. You're not doing that much.
Jonas, this past week I plowed nearly 20 acres and seeded more than 5.
My Lord, Charlie, in my prime, I used to do that in 3 days. Now, I'll tell you, Charlie, I wanted you to get started on the lower field this afternoon, but if you're all tuckered out, you can't pull your weight around here.
No, Jonas, I can do it. I
don't want to force you to something, Charlie.
I can do it, Jonas.
Well, that's good. Good. Now, you go on out and work that field till 1 o'clock, and then we'll all sit down and have a good midday feed.
Yeah, sure, Jonas. Sure.
A good midday feed? Is that what you said, Uncle Jonas?
When are you gonna stop calling me Uncle? Makes me feel old for a pretty young heifer like you to call me Uncle. Much too old.
Oh, please. If you don't mind.
Now, what have I done? I just put my hands on your shoulders and where I'd really like to put them.
Don't you ever do that again.
Well, now, if I'd known you were going to take it like that, I wouldn't have. And I won't, Dora. Never again. Never again, that is, until you ask me.
You're upset. You're all upset. Tell me what happened after I left. Tell me.
Charlie, please. I've got to get supper on the table. What there is of it.
Something happened between you and Jonas. What was it?
Charlie, it was nothing.
What was it?
He tried to get fresh.
What do you mean, get fresh?
Charlie.
I want to know.
It isn't anything much. He just put his hands on my shoulder.
And?
Well, he sort of let his hand slip. Charlie, that was all. Believe me, that was all. I told him never to do anything like that again, and he won't. Charlie, believe me, he won't.
Oh, he won't. I'll see to that. Where is he?
Charlie.
Where is he?
Charlie, I think he's in that room he keeps closed, the one he uses for an office. Where are you going?
To have a talk with Uncle Jonas.
Charlie, wait. He's ordered us never to set foot in that room.
I want a word with you, Jonas.
Having another attack of nerves, Charlie? Must be. Can't imagine you busting in here otherwise.
You know why I'm here, and it isn't my nerves.
Well, then what is it? What is it, Charlie?
That clock.
Charlie.
That clock, the way it ticks.
Oh, yeah. Everybody notices that. Everybody's ever been in this room, that is. It's more like a heartbeat, they say, huh? Strong, solid, full of life. Like my heartbeat. But that isn't what you come to talk about.
You insulted my wife today.
Insulted?
You made advances, put your hands on her.
And that was an insult?
What do you call it?
What a compliment to her beauty, her female attraction.
You dirty-minded, hypocritical...
Charlie!
Dora, what? Ruthie. And for a reason I didn't understand then, as I looked at Dora holding Ruth, my dead daughter, in her arms, I was aware only of the ticking of the clock.
Trapped. Yes, surely that's the word for Charles and Dora Daring, who accepted the help of Uncle Jonas, his offer to come and live on his isolated farm, only to find that his farm is a prison. Charles' diary continues, and we'll read it together, you and I, when I return shortly with Act 2. Dead. Only a word with little significance, really, unless spoken for the first time about someone you love. He is dead. She is dead. Then it hits you, the full impact of the word's terrible meaning. What do you do in that awful moment? How do you react? Some burst into tears, others are numbed into a silence. Whatever the emotion, it is deep and very personal, as was Charles Daring's. Perhaps even a curious reaction, born of his nervous condition, for he writes in the diary,
and for a reason I didn't understand then, as I looked at Dora holding Ruth, my dead daughter, in her arms, I was aware only of the ticking of the clock. That huge grandfather clock in the room my uncle called his office. It grew louder and louder, filling, saturating the room with its beat. The beat that my uncle said was like the beat of his heart. Slow, steady, solid. And then, through the beating, as if from far off, I heard Dora's voice.
Dead. She's dead, Charlie. Our little girl.
No, Dora, you're mistaken. Here, let me take her in my arms. Ruthie. This is Daddy. Can you hear me, dear? Ruthie.
Kid's dead. Anybody can see that.
Shh, no, can't be.
Charlie, dear. Give her to me. Let me take her.
Yes. Put her on the bed in our room. Let her rest. Let her rest.
Now, come on now, Charlie. You can't go to pieces. Gotta act like a man. Got to face up.
Leave him alone.
Huh? What's that?
You've killed his daughter. Isn't that enough for one day? Leave him alone.
The grave's filled in at last. We better get back to the house. This wind cuts to the bone. Oh, the cow's due for milking, too. I guess you or Dora have to do that from now on. So, I might as well get started.
Not before I say a few words. Over Ruthie.
What? Oh, go ahead. Then you can get to the milking.
The Lord is my shepherd. I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness. What? Dora. Wake up.
I'm not asleep.
Listen.
It's only the storm, dear.
No, not the storm. Listen.
To what, dear?
The clock. The grandfather clock in Jonas's office.
I don't hear it. I never have, Charlie.
I hear it.
You can't. His office is downstairs at the other end of the house. He keeps the door closed. You're imagining.
No, I can hear it. My ears, you know how sensitive they are.
Darling, try to sleep.
Can't. Keep thinking of Ruthie. Our little Ruthie lying out there alone in the ground, the rain beating down, the cold rain.
Try not.
And the clock beating like his heart, beating. While hers lies still. Will never beat again. I can't bear it.
Darling, I'll get you a pill for your nerves.
Don't leave me, don't.
The bottle's down in the kitchen. Only a minute. I'll be right back. Only a minute.
you, girl?
Well, I didn't expect to find you in the kitchen this late.
A glass of warm milk to help me sleep. There's a little left. You'd like some?
No, I just came down to get Charlie's pills.
Oh, glad you did. Yeah. Long time since I've seen a woman in her nightgown.
I thought the bottle was hanging on the shelf.
You might as well stop looking for them pills.
What do you mean?
I threw them away.
Charlie's pills?
He don't need them. He only thinks he does.
Are you out of your mind? They're all to keep him from going completely to pieces.
No, don't believe it. A lot of nonsense. Doctor's nonsense.
You didn't throw them away. Where are they?
No, I threw them away, all right.
Then you must want him to break down completely. That's it, isn't it? I've known all along what you were up to, but I wouldn't admit it to myself. Now I know.
Oh, and you tell me.
Stay away from me. Don't you touch me, I swear. If you do, I'll tell all I know.
Huh? Tell who? Who's there to tell?
Get your hands off.
Tell who? Huh? Tell who? Only one around is Charlie.
I'll get to town. Somehow I'll get to town. I'll tell the police. You meant to kill Charlie. Work, starve him to death, so you could be alone with me. Have me.
Like I've got you.
You filthy rotten swine!
Oh!
Swine! You beasts!
Stop him! He's killing me!
Charlie! Charlie, no!
I'll kill him!
Charlie! No!
If you ever put your dirty hands on my wife again, I'll kill you. There was no sleep for us that night, Dora and me. And by the time dawn showed beyond the mountains, we'd come to a decision. Too late to save our beloved daughter, but in time to save ourselves. If I could somehow manage to fix the car. So, after the usual skimpy breakfast, a piece of unbuttered bread and a cup of weak coffee.
What's all this? Charlie, what you up to?
Getting Dora and me out of here, that's what I'm up to.
Oh, now, come on. Hold on, Charlie. Hold on. Let's talk this over.
There's nothing to talk over.
I don't think I knew what I was doing, Charlie. I really don't think so.
Well, you did it, and it wasn't the first time.
I know.
Starving us to death, working us to death. You killed Ruthie, you did.
No. Charlie, you got to forgive me for what I've done without meaning to.
You work us and starve us.
I thought it was best for you. But I was wrong. And I admit it. And I ask you to forgive me.
Well,
Don't, Charlie. Don't do it.
Oh, now, Dora.
Don't you see what he's up to? If we leave, and we're leaving, he loses whatever work he can get out of you before you drop in your tracks. And he loses me.
Now, girl, daughter.
Don't you daughter me. Any woman could see through the likes of you. You'll kill him. That's why you threw away the pills he needs. And then you'll have me all to yourself. All alone. Out here in this forsaken wilderness. To do whatever you want with. Charlie, get that car running. If it's at all possible, get that car running. How far have we come, Charlie?
only 6, near 7 miles.
That leaves about 25 to Concord.
If we get over this mountain. Dora.
What?
I keep wondering, when we get to Pomfret, what'll we do? I mean, where will we stay? How will we eat?
We can stay in the car for a day or two if we have to. And my suitcase is full of food.
Full?
I took every scrap of food I could lay my hands on.
Good for you. Oh, no.
What? Charlie, what?
We're cooked, honey. Just plain cooked.
What?
The butterfly valve. I knew it wouldn't last the trip.
But you fixed it once.
Yeah, and for the last time. It can't be fixed again. Now what do we do?
We start walking.
25 miles through the mountains. 25 miles.
We can't go back.
We got to, honey. I'm in no condition to make it 25 miles to Pomfret.
You are. You can. You've got to. If we go back, it's death for you. And for me. We can't go back.
Who's there? Who's there?
We come back.
I figured you would. In fact, I knew you would.
How did you know? How could you be so sure?
What else could you do once you run out of gas?
It wasn't that. I filled a tank from those cans in the barn.
And I emptied it, Charlie.
You?
Left just enough for you to get maybe 10 miles. I noticed you had a busted gas gauge, so you'd never know.
You were the most...
Now. I did it for your own good.
You lying...
What would you have done when you got to Pomfret? Charlie, why do you always stare at that clock?
The ticking, it hurts my ears, my hearing, awful sensitive. Painful.
Listen, I'm sorry about what happened before you left. We're going to change all that. We're going to be friends. Try to be, anyhow. Here, let's have a drink on it. A toast to the future. Our future together. After you, my dear. And Charlie, a glass for you. Although, maybe before you drink it, but now, only if you won't mind, Charlie. You won't, will you?
Mind what, Uncle Jonas?
Milking the cows, feeding the chickens before night comes on.
No, I don't mind.
And now, daughter, a toast to us and our future together.
An evil old man, a ruthless old man, and unhappily, a victorious old man. What lies ahead now for Dora and Charles Daring? I know because I read Charles' diary. You will know shortly when I return for Act 3. One wonders at times on the nature of evil. What is it in all of us that on one occasion or another will make us do wrong when we know it to be wrong? St. Paul said, "The good I would do, I do not, and the evil I would not, I do." Our author, Edgar Allan Poe, said simply, "We are perverse." However it may be, there can be no question that Uncle Jonas is evil.
I know he means to kill me through overwork and little food, and then do with Dora what he desires. But what can I do? We're trapped here on this isolated farm in the wilderness, cut off from any possible help, prisoners in the hands of this evil old man who... A car. Coming down the road, a car. The game warden. I forgot the game warden. Hi there. Hi. Wait up. Sure.
Well, hello. Daring, isn't it?
Yeah. We met once, months ago. Remember? I was plowing the fields and you came by and...
Sure, I remember.
Listen, I need help. Will you help me?
Well, if I can.
We tried to get away from here, my wife and I, but our car broke down.
Oh, is that your car? Half blocking the road 6 miles or so back?
Yeah, carburetor went sour. I tried to fix it, but it didn't hold up.
Well, there's not much I can do. I'm no mechanic.
No, but you could pick up a carburetor for me in Pomfret, couldn't you? The next time you come out this way...
Yeah, sure. I could do that, but... Well, you'll have a long wait. I don't come out this way more than once every other month, thereabouts.
Oh, that's okay. I can wait, but will you do it?
Sure, glad to.
Charlie?
Yeah?
He wants to see you. Your uncle.
All right. Coming.
That your wife?
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder you want to get away from here. If I had a wife as pretty as yours, I wouldn't want her around that dirty old man here.
Come in. Come in. Well, where you been? I told Dora I wanted to see you 10 minutes ago.
I was working in the barn.
Working? You working? Look at me, damn it. Not at that clock. Always looking at that clock. Look at me when I talk to you.
Yeah.
I got to thinking. It's a waste of time, you tripsing back and forth from the fields to the house, from the barn to the house. So, from here on, I've decided you'll live in the barn.
What? You can't do this. Dora and me can't live in the...
I didn't say Dora. I said you.
Me in the barn. And Dora here?
That's right.
Dora alone in this house with you? Never.
Now, you listen to me.
Never. You think I don't know what you're up to? Dora's told me everything. How you've been after her, forcing yourself on her. And if you think if you're alone in the house with her alone at night, you can get what you're after, never.
Oh, yes. You fool. Don't you think I planned this from the beginning? From the day I got your sniveling letter begging me to take you in. And the day I laid eyes on her for the first time, I knew then that it was a good plan, and I'd go through with it.
You...
A simple plan, too. So simple it couldn't go wrong. Starve you, weaken you, work you into your grave.
The way you worked Ruthie into hers...
No, the child didn't matter one way or the other. It was you.
It didn't matter. My little girl, my Ruthie, didn't matter.
Hey, now, wait a minute, child. You're choking me. You can't.
There's something. The clock. Stopped. Strange. Why so suddenly stopped? His heart. He said it was like the beating of his heart. It stopped. Would that mean... on the floor. Jonas, on the floor. Oh, my God. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I killed him. Oh, God, I killed him. In my rage, I killed him. I am a murderer. I realized that I must do something to hide the body. But what? Where to hide it? If I tried to get out of the house into the barn, Dora might see me doing it. A chance I couldn't take. If I dragged it down the cellar, there was the risk she'd hear me. Where could I hide? And then my eyes, as they had so often done before, my eyes went to the clock. The clock that had stopped the very instant his heart stopped. A big clock, 6 feet tall and 2 feet wide. Was it possible that I might... If I could stand him up in that space, the clock hiding him, for a time, only for a time, to let me think what I might do afterwards. Yes, that is what I did. And just in time, I just stood his body against the wall and pushed the clock back into place, hiding it when...
Yes?
Mrs. Daring, of course.
Yes.
I'm Game Warden Carrington. I'd like to talk to your husband.
Oh, well, he's with his uncle just now. Could you wait?
Well, I'm afraid not. I want to get back to Pomfret before nightfall.
Uh-huh. Is it important?
It is to your husband.
Well, Uncle Jonas gets angry when... Well, follow me.
Thank you.
What is it?
I'm sorry to interrupt. The game warden's here. He says he's got to see Charles. Got to see him right away.
Oh. Hello, Warden.
See about that carburetor, Daring.
Oh?
Look, I don't like talking to you. You peering through a door open to crack. Could I come in?
No. Uncle Jonas doesn't allow anyone...
Oh, that's all right. Come in.
Where's Uncle Jonas?
He went down to the barn. Be back in a little while.
Oh. Well, I'll leave you and the warden together.
Sit down, Warden.
Oh, no. This'll just take a minute, and I'm in a hurry. I got to thinking about that carburetor.
Carburetor. Yes. Carburetor.
There's a good mechanic in Pomfret, Hutchinson. He could maybe rebuild it for you, save you some money.
Oh. Well...
you all right, Daring?
Yes, only...
Well, what is it? Why do you keep looking at that clock?
It isn't going.
Of course it isn't. Well, you can see that. The pendulum has stopped.
Yes, and yet... about the carburetor...
Well, I was going to suggest, but I want your permission first, suggest I take the carburetor out of the car on my way back to Pomfret, you know?
Yes, do that.
Well, the trouble is, I haven't got the tools.
Tools?
Yes. Are you listening to me?
Yes, I'm listening.
I've got a couple of screwdrivers, but no wrench and no pliers, so I wondered if you might have what I need.
Yes,
Well, if you could let me have them, I'll stop by the car, get the carburetor out, and take it to Hutchinson and Pomfret. He'll have plenty of time to work on it, because I won't be coming back this way for another... Daring, what is it?
You think you're clever, don't you, Warden?
Well, that's a funny thing to say. Nothing clever about taking a carburetor out of the car.
I don't mean that. You know I don't mean that.
Well, what do you mean?
The sound. You hear it as well as I do. You hear it.
What are you talking about?
The heartbeat. His heartbeat. It has to be that. The clock has stopped. Look. The clock has stopped, but the beat, the beat. You hear it.
I don't hear anything.
Liar. How could you not hear it? You didn't come about the carburetor. You know I was going to do it. You saw it on my face when we talked out there today. You must have seen it. In my face. Even though I didn't know it.
Well, no, what? Daring, have you gone mad? Saw what in your face? You were going to do what?
Kill him. Kill him! Kill him!
Hey! Well, what are you doing? Why are you pulling the clock away from that? Hey, look out! It's falling!
See?
Oh, good Lord. Good Lord.
Charles? Dear?
You've come, Dora. Sit down, dearest, and give me a moment. I just want to adjust the escape mechanism on this clock. There.
All fixed?
All fixed. And they said it couldn't be done.
If it can be done, you're the man to do it. Dr. Leonardo says you're a genius when it comes to fixing clocks. Goodness, you fixed just about every one in this whole...
in the asylum. I know what it is, Dora, dear. I just don't know why I'm here.
No matter, sweetheart. So long as you're happy.
Oh, very, very. And you?
I'm fine.
And Ruthie? Little Ruthie. How's she?
She couldn't be better, Charles. She sends her love.
Give mine to her. Oh, dear.
What, Charles?
This escape mechanism. Still not working the way it should. If you'll excuse me, Dora.
In a little room in a large institution, a very gentle, a very sweet old man tinkers happily with clocks and watches. And an old lady, a very old but very attractive old lady, visits him weekly. He lives in another world, she in this. Small matter. Both are happy. I'll be back shortly. Well, to come full circle, you, sir, became Charles Daring, and you, ma'am, or would you prefer Ms., became Dora. And as I pointed out earlier, you couldn't have done it without that miracle imagination. Think, how completely did you become Charles, Dora? Did you become them? Or did you only listen with your ears? Listen. If that is so, try again. Ears are not enough. Try using your soul. Our cast included Fred Gwynne, Ann Shepard, and Robert Dryden. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown.
Come in. Welcome. I'm E.G. Marshall. Mark Twain once said that everybody talks about the weather, but no one does anything about it. An ever-increasing army of people feel that way about pollution, but happily are doing something about it. Trying, anyway. But trying, mark you, against great odds. Odds which can be lumped under the one descriptive word, apathy. Apathy, perhaps the most destructive negative force mankind has ever known. A force which could easily have led to the strange tale I bring you now.
Nils, I order you. Put Magda out of the house instantly.
She's my wife, Mr. Manderson. You can't ask me
You fool! She's caught the Red Death. Brought it into my house, my sanctuary. Look at her. Beads of sweat on her face. Blood red sweat. She's caught the plague.
Plague or not, I am not putting her out to die.
And I am. And one move from you to stop me and you'll go out with her. I mean what I say, Nils. Every word of it.
Our mystery drama, The Mask of the Red Death, was especially adapted from the Edgar Allan Poe classic by George Lothar and stars Carl Swenson and Stats Cotsworth. It is sponsored in part by Sign-Off, the sinus medicines, and Anheuser-Busch Incorporated, brewers of Budweiser. I'll be back shortly with Act One. The Mask of the Red Death. The word mask, you should know, is spelled M-A-S-Q-U-E and means masquerade. And to begin this particular masquerade, I'm going to ask you to join me in a huge house, a mansion, on top of Lookout Mountain. We're in a vast living room, one wall of which is made of plate glass, through which, in whatever direction the house turns, Yes, you can turn the house by pressing buttons. Can be seen miles on miles of country far below. There are others in the living room with us, including the multimillionaire owner of this luxurious estate. That tall, expensively dressed, gray-haired man over there, Milo Manderson.
So just shut up, Jack. Once and for all, shut up.
Milo, all I'm saying
And
is...
I'm sick of hearing you say it. Flossie's sick of it. Doreen's sick of it. We're all sick of it. So shut up.
Okay. Oh, just let me point out one more
Jack,
thing.
please. Can't you see how upset you're making my father? You're talking as if he were doing something perfectly awful, when all he's doing is saving us from the Red Death.
You ought to have a little more gratitude, Jack.
Don't you understand? Any of you understand? Look out that window into the valley where the village is. The farmlands, dead animals in the fields, cows, horses, pigs, chickens, everything.
Doreen, shut him up. Shut him up or I won't care if he is your husband. Which is the only reason I brought him along. I'll throw him out.
I'll make up your mind, Milo. You didn't bring me here. You forced me here.
For Doreen's sake, not yours. You penniless hayseed, you farmer. Huh. Would you believe it? 1996. Here we are in the year 1996, and he's still farming like it was 20 years or 30 years ago.
Not 20 years ago, Milo. Not 30, 100. I'm trying to bring the land back to what it was, trying to replenish the earth, to restore what fools like you took out of it with every pollutant you can think of. I'm trying to save...
Now I've had it. I'm warning you for the last time. Doreen, talk to this fathead you married. Talk some sense into him.
Milo, give Flossie a little drinky. A little martini.
I could do with one myself. Now, you talk to him, Doreen.
Jack, my father's right.
With you, he's always right.
Now, listen to me, honey. There's a plague out there, and it's spreading. It's spreading all over the country, and people are dying by the thousands, and all Father's trying to do is save us from it.
I tell you, he can't.
He can. Father has never failed, never. At anything he made up his mind to do. He spent weeks stocking this place with food and water, everything we'll need to stick things out until the plague's over.
All those people dying out there, and we
Well,
still...
why shouldn't we? They'd do the same if they could. Who wants to find himself sweating blood all of a sudden and dying in hours? Not me. I'm sorry for them, Jack. I really am. But that's no reason for me or you to go out there and die with them.
There's such a thing as conscience, Doreen.
Oh, Jack, you're impossible. What's that noise, Father?
The helicopter. Here. Let me turn the house. You'll be able to see it coming in from the east. There she comes.
The helicopter, Milo.
Bringing in a couple I hired to do the cooking and housework. The Ostroms, Nils and his wife, Magda. I hired them through a New York agency and had my pilot fly them out.
What about the plague, Father? They could be bringing it with them.
I had them checked out, complete physical, and every precaution taken to keep them from any contact with people till they got to the chopper. Nothing to worry about.
Oh, look at that gorgeous hunk of man getting out of the cup.
That's Nils.
Ooh, 6'4" if he's an inch. Long blonde hair. Oh, wow.
You keep your eyes on me, baby. I'm the guy you're going to marry, remember, not him.
How could I forget? You're the guy with all the money.
Yeah. Okay, here they come. As soon as they get in the house, we lock the place up solid, and I mean solid. Nobody gets in or out till this plague is over. You're Nils Ostrom, that right?
Yes, Mr. Manderson.
And this is Magda, your wife.
Yes, sir. I should tell you she cannot hear or speak. She is a deaf mute.
A deaf mute? Well, how in Hades are we going to talk to her then? Give orders?
She can read your lips. Excuse me, sir?
Yeah, what?
The pilot of the helicopter, he asked me to ask you, will you let him stay?
No way.
He is standing out there, sir, waiting for one sign or another from you. To motion him to come inside or wave him away.
Well, he's going to get waved away.
Wait a minute, Milo.
What now, farmer boy?
I'm going with him.
Now, Jack, we've been through all this before.
I'm sorry, Doreen. I love you. You know that. But I just can't save my own skin while others are dying. Not if I can do something to help. Milo, you forced me to come here.
And I'm forcing you to stay.
Father!
Well, that'd defeat your own purpose, wouldn't it?
To shoot me, Milo?
Oh, no intention of killing you, Jack. Just a bullet through the leg to stop you, and I'll do it. I'm going to protect you from the plague whether you want it or not. Not for your sake, but for Doreen's. She loves you. You don't ask me why, but she does. That's the only reason I'm keeping you here. Nils, you and your wife start locking the place up.
Yes, sir. Come, Magda.
I'll wave that pilot off.
You could have let him stay, Milo. You may be sending him to his death.
And if it weren't for Doreen, you'd be going along with him. Now shut up and help get this place locked up.
Oh, here you are, Jack.
Yeah.
Milo sent me to find you. Everybody's at the dinner table but you.
Just leave me alone, Floss, huh?
Sure. Only, where does it get you, sitting in the dark, brooding?
Look down in the valley, where the village is.
Okay, Jack. I'm looking.
What do you see?
Not much. I mean, it's nighttime. There used to be a lot of lights down there. Like, you know, people in their houses doing whatever people do in their houses. But in the week we've been here... Hey, has it been a week? Yeah, a week. Well, anyway, since we've been here, at least half the lights have gone out.
They didn't go out, they burned out. People died of the Red Death and the lights just burned out.
Tough?
Is that all you can say? Tough? Do you realize what's happening out there? Not only down there in the village, but all over the United States, Canada, the world.
Jack, there's something you've got to understand about little Flossie.
Oh.
Up here in the head, nothing. Down here, and here, plenty. But up here in the head, oh, forget it. And that's why, when this is all over, Milo's going to make me wife number 4. Only you know something?
No, what?
Well, I've been listening. All this week, I've been listening to you. And it kind of gets through to me that, well, maybe you've got something. Tell me about what you're all wrapped up in. This orgasmic farming thing.
Organic. You wouldn't be interested.
So why am I asking?
Well, it's simple. It's like a bank account.
Well, that I know about.
All right. So then, if you take out more than you put in...
No bank account. Overdrawn. Fini.
Exactly. So... Well, it's simple. The land, the earth, where all the world's food comes from, it's a bank account. Now, unless you want to be overdrawn, you got to put back in what you take out. Well, the world has been taking out and never putting back in. The land is bankrupt. It's overdrawn. It's poor, not rich anymore. So what comes out of it is poor, not rich. So no matter how much people eat, what they eat is practically worthless.
Oh, yeah.
You follow me then?
Like a tiger. If what we eat is worthless, well, then we get sick.
We get sick. The air gets sick. The waters get sick. And then we get what we've got now, the plague or the Red Death.
Oh. So him, Milo, what he's doing, trying to save us from the Red Death, well, what good is it? I mean, if the plague stops like he says it will...
It will, but there'll be others, worse. They're God's way of saying, man, you're overdrawn.
Lost.
Uh-oh.
Lost.
Milo's looking for me. I'm supposed to find you and... right here, lover, right here.
Now, what is this? You and the farmer boy in the dark.
Talking, doll, just talking.
I sent you to look for him, get him to the dinner table, and you sit here in the dark just talking.
Well, I gotta talk to somebody, and you're never in the mood. Not for that.
Well, what's so interesting in him?
Well, he was telling me about organic farming and how it could save the earth from going bankrupt.
No, not that again. Come on, dinner's getting cold. You heard me, Jack.
I'll stay here, Milo.
Oh, come on, Jack. You ought to eat. Keep up your strength.
On that food? It's practically worthless.
Well, just to keep me company, then. We can talk some more, and I like talking to you.
Yeah, That's about all farmer boy can do, talk. Anybody can talk. I act. You just remember one thing, Flossie girl. I'm the one that's saving you from the Red Death.
Yeah. Only answer me a question, Milo.
Sure.
Saving me. For what?
More souffle, Mr. Munderson.
No. And I'll tell you something, Nils. Your wife's cooking hasn't been so hot in the past few days. She better get on the ball.
I am sorry, sir, but she has not been feeling herself.
I'll have more, Niels. I think it's quite good.
Yes, madam.
Yeah, and what about the coffee? I asked for another cup.
Yeah, in a moment, sir. My wife is heating it.
Anyone see the news on Global Vision today?
Oh, I did, Doreen. Why?
They said the plague is spreading, that it's shown up now in France, Italy, Spain, everywhere.
Nothing surprising about that.
I didn't say it was. I just said it was on the news.
No need to take my head off, Doreen.
No need for you to be sarcastic.
I wasn't being...
Oh, don't tell me.
Look, all I said
it isn't
was...
what you say, it's your attitude. I notice you don't take that tone with her.
Me? How'd I get into this?
You know how you got into it. Don't pull the innocent on me.
If you're implying...
Oh, skip it, Nils. Where is that coffee?
Here's my wife with it now, madame. Magna, let me help you with the tray.
I don't intend to skip anything. If you're implying that I've been up to anything...
Look, you little...
Now stop it, the two of you. The last 2 or 3 days you've been at each other like a couple of alley cats, and I'm sick of it.
Well, you just tell your girlfriend...
You watch your tongue. Flossie isn't my girlfriend, she's my fiancée. What's more... What the devil?
Sorry, sir. I'm very sorry. My wife, the tray slipped from her... Magda!
Look out, she's collapsing.
Magda! Oh, my dearest.
Let me give you a hand with her, Nils.
No, sir, stand back.
But, Nils...
No, get back, sir, get back. Don't come near her. Can't you see?
See what? Her face. She's sweating blood.
Yes, I'm afraid she has the red plague.
It's worse than that. She's brought it here.
So, in spite of all precautions, the Red Death invades Milo Manderson's sanctuary, his barricaded retreat atop Lookout Mountain. And, you ask me, another disease has invaded the mansion. Jealousy. Doreen's and Milo's resentment of what appears to be a developing friendship between Floss and Jack. I'll be back shortly. As ye sow, we are told in the Bible, so shall ye reap. It would appear that multimillionaire Milo Manderson is on the threshold of doing some reaping. He thought himself and his few chosen companions safe from the plague of the Red Death, secure in his isolated retreat atop Lookout Mountain, the world and the spreading death in it barred from his door. Not so. Magda Ostrom, wife of Nils, the couple Manderson brought to do the menial work of the household, has just collapsed.
Get her out.
What?
Get her out. Out of this room, out of this house.
Oh, now cool it, Milo. The woman's dying.
And we're not dying with her.
Father! Don't start breaking
The
things.
money I spent to protect us, the precautions I took, weeks of thought and preparation. To doctors. How many doctors did I send them to examine them and check them out, make sure that they were free with a price?
Father, get hold of yourself.
Now she comes down with it. In my own house. This sanctuary, I nearly killed myself to make ready so we'd all be safe. Get her out of here.
You can't ask me.
Get her out.
I will not. No, Mr. Manderson, I will not. Magda is going to die, but she is not going to die alone.
Then die with her.
Milo, no.
Get out of my way.
Give me that gun.
Father!
Here.
Stop it. All of you, stop it.
Oh, now you're giving orders. You.
Shut up and listen. My wife is trying to say something in sign language. Yeah, Magda. What? No. Oh, but my darling, Very well.
What did she say, Nils?
She said there is no hope for her, and there is no sense in two of us dying.
What's she doing? Where's she going?
Out of the house. To die alone. Goodbye. My dearest. Goodbye. I'll see you dead for this, Manderson.
Mr. Madison. And I'm not scared by threats.
No threat, Mr. Manderson. A promise.
Business has been brought to a virtual standstill throughout the world. Here in the United States, countless thousands who tried and are still trying to leave the congestion of the cities for what is considered the relative safety of rural areas.
Shut that thing
are
off.
blocked by military and local
I said
police.
shut that thing
Riots
off.
in the...
Look! His face! The red death! He's got it! His face! Red! With sweat!
All right, I'll shut it off.
The sight of death becoming too much for you, Mr. Manderson?
Shut up.
I'm sorry, sir. I thought perhaps the sight of my wife's body lying out in the patio where she collapsed and died.
Niels, you'll go too far, I warn you. I'd shoot you now if we didn't need you.
Need me? For what? Are you also incompetent, so helpless you can't do for yourselves? The ladies can cook.
Me? I can't boil water.
And I don't intend to. That's what you are paid for.
You are so like your father, madame. You think everything can be bought, even life.
Now, you look here. Since your wife died 2 days ago, you've been acting like... Well, like anything but the servant you are. Now, you just cut it out. You just remember your place. Remember who and what you are. Do you understand me, Nils?
Totally, madame. Is there anything madame wishes before I go to make up the beds?
Not at the moment, but when there is, I'll let you know.
Thank you, madame.
Now, that's the way to handle a servant. Nice going, Doreen. I'm proud to call you daughter.
Well, I'm not proud to call her wife. The man isn't himself. He's broken with grief. He loved his wife. He saw her go to her death alone. He watched through this window as she collapsed out there on the patio and died before his eyes. And you treat him as if he were nothing, the way you treat me, treat Floss.
I thought you'd become Flossie's champion, and now I know.
All I'm saying is you
It's
can't...
too much, as usual. You've got a big mouth and a head stuffed with hay. The trouble is here, we're bored. That's the one thing I didn't think of, that we'd get bored. We've been cooped up here for nearly 2 weeks now.
9 days.
Will you please shut up?
Well, 9 days isn't 2 weeks, is all I'm saying.
I can take care of that.
How, Father?
Well, I don't know yet. I'll think of something. Meantime, how about some bridge?
Not me.
Sorry,
Sick
Marlo.
of bridge.
Well, then how about... blazes with it. I'm going up to the solarium to get some sun.
I'll go with you, Father. Jack?
No, I'll stay here.
With Flossie, of course.
Yeah, we'll have the orgy I've been planning for weeks.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Join me in an orgy, Floss?
But you know something?
What?
I have joined you.
What do you mean?
Well, me, I'm no great brain, but... Well, I'd have to be a dope not to... Well, anyhow, begin to realize that you're right. Milo and Doreen, well, they're wrong.
Oh?
If you mean it, what you keep saying all the time, that is.
You mean...
Well, like the world's gone to hell. It's become a cesspool, you called it.
Yeah, cesspool of corruption.
But it can be cured, brought back to what it was once. Pure and clean and beautiful and healthy. You mean it when you say you want to get out of here and go out there into the world, right into the middle of the plague, whether it kills you or not, so that you can do all you can to help people build a brand new world?
Yeah, I mean all that. But But I can't get out. Milo's got the keys to every door. The windows are unbreakable.
I could get the keys. Easy.
You do that? You're with me, not him?
I never was with him. It was a deal, kinda, you know.
Yeah.
So what do you say? Well?
That means leaving Doreen.
Oh. You still got a thing for her, huh?
I never lost it.
Oh. Well, you got decisions to make. Leave Doreen and do what you believe is right. Or don't leave Doreen and don't do it.
A decision I don't think you need make, Mr. Reynolds. Not yet.
Nils.
I apologize. I overheard something of what you've been saying. Whatever your decision, it would be foolish for you to go out into the world right now, sir.
You think so, Nils?
I know it, sir. The plague is reaching its height. In a few days, it will begin to break and then recede. But right now, and for the next few days, it will be at its most dangerous point.
But
believe me, sir, leave here now and your death will be assured. And you are among a handful the world cannot afford to lose. Not at this time.
Nils, you're something else. You know that? Sometimes you talk like you know all there is to know.
It'll be fun, Doreen. A barrel of fun.
Costumes. What about costumes?
That's all taken care of. Hey, now, Floss, Jack, yeah, you, Nils. I got a great idea. You say you're bored. You say life in the Milo Madison hideaway holds no variety for you, no spice at all for you. Well, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you a party.
A party?
Not just a party, Jack, the boy. A masquerade party.
Are you crazy?
What do you mean crazy?
Party? A masquerade party? When out there the world is dying? Milo, it's obscene.
You see, Doreen, I told you. Beat my brains out thinking of something to liven things up, to keep us from going nuts with boredom. Where do I get? Where?
You don't go along with this, Doreen. You don't.
Well, I didn't at first.
But then he changed your mind.
What if he did? At least he's doing something. All you do is talk.
That's all I can do. Locked in here, a prisoner. What more can I do?
Something. I don't know, but something. Don't just talk. Do.
All right, I'll do. Milo, you take your masquerade party and stuff it.
I've decided we're going to have a masquerade party. And that's what we're going to have tonight. And you're going to be in it, you and Flossie.
Floss, you go along with this?
No.
Now look, you little...
Tramp? Is that what you're going to say, Milo?
Don't put words in my mouth.
Don't you put thoughts in my head. Thoughts I wouldn't rather think. Look through that window. There's death out there. All around out there. A masquerade party. How could you think of it? How awful could you be to even think of it?
We are going to have a masquerade party. And we're going to have it tonight. If it's the last thing I do.
It will be.
What?
It will be the last thing you do.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, I understand why you decided to have a masquerade party. 2 days ago, when I held my dying wife in my arms, I told you what I thought of you. And no servant, no lackey, ever told Milo Manderson the truth since the day Milo Manderson realized he had made his first million. Before that day, you, Milo Manderson, you, still retain some shreds of humanity. But on that day, and ever since, oh, God, I call on you. What has this mortal become?
He's crazy. Look at him. Arms outspread. Looking up at the ceiling, calling on God like he knew him. He's out of his head.
Hear me now, Milo.
Miss
Milo! Hear me. It's revenge you're after. I told you the truth of not what you are, but what you have become. God made you beautiful. You have made yourself ugly. You must learn you are wrong, and in learning, come back to God, come back to truth. You want revenge on me? You shall have it, and you shall learn the emptiness and the hollowness of it. Revenge is mine, says the Lord, not yours. Mine. And this, Milo Manderson, you are about to learn. And may God, in his infinite mercy, help you bear the agony of the learning.
A strange speech, surely. Nils calls on God as if, as if he knew him as intimately as I know you. And we do know each other, you and I, very well indeed by this time, don't we? Ought to. Been together a long time. Pleasant time for me, anyhow. Hope for you, too. Back shortly with Act 3. Death, in the form of a plague, known as the Red Death, lays waste the world, while in an isolated mansion atop Lookout Mountain, multi-millionaire Milo Manderson, seeking refuge, barricades himself and his companions from it. Now, vengeful or callous, or both, he proposes to hold a masquerade party to relieve the boredom of their voluntary imprisonment. We rejoin the small, beleaguered group in the vast living room of the mansion as...
He's gone crazy. You have, Nils. You know that. You've gone crazy.
No, not I, you. A long time ago.
You don't see me acting like I was God.
Don't I?
I think Nils is right. In a way, Milo, you've come to think you're more than God, really.
Well, now you are going too far, Jack.
No. Wait a minute, Doreen. Wait just 1 minute. Let this hayseed husband of yours go on. So, God sent the Red Plague to wipe us all out. That is, eh?
Maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't have to. From where I sit, you created it yourselves.
You're as crazy as Nils.
Wait and see, Milo. Just wait and see.
Yeah. And while I'm waiting, we'll have our party. Yes, there's a big closet in the game room, and it's loaded with costumes. From the bash we had up here a couple of years ago, Doreen, you remember?
Yes.
So you can all get your costumes from there. Nils, you break out the Port Rocher. I've been saving that champagne for a special occasion. And if you ask me, this is going to be a real special occasion.
It will indeed be that, Mr. Manderson. The most special occasion of your life.
Jack.
Yes, Doreen.
Hook me up in back. This Marie Antoinette costume is hard to manage.
Oh, okay.
You look handsome. That black and white domino. What kind of mask? Black or white?
Black.
Oh, romantic as well as handsome. And sulky. Sullen.
Worried is the word, Doreen. Very, very worried.
Oh, now don't tell me that little act Nils put on, that performance of stretching his arms wide and crying out to God. Don't tell me it got to you.
The way it got to you?
To me. I thought it as laughably ridiculous as my father did.
Your father
He's only trying to save us from the Red Death, Jack. And it's about time you gave him some credit for it instead of insulting him every chance you get.
I'm not insulting him. I'm trying to wake him up.
I don't know why it is, no matter how I try to keep things pleasant between us, you always manage to start your eternal harping on pollution.
I'm sorry, Doreen.
Oh, you're always sorry. But that doesn't help. You ruin everything, just as you're trying to ruin my fun.
Fun? How can you talk about fun?
Because I need fun. That's why, because my father's right. We're going house crazy with boredom, and I don't see how a few hours of fun will change anything in that world you worry so much about, one way or the other. The music is starting. Oh, let's go down. Jack, please, for once, Let's enjoy ourselves.
Come on, Floss, come on. The way you're dancing, put some life into it, baby.
I don't feel like dancing.
Well, you will. All he needs a couple more glasses of champagne. Soon take care of that. Now, say one thing for Nils. He may be batty as a bedbug, but he's a good servant. This Port Roger is perfectly chilled. Okay, honey. Another glass for you, and another for me. Bottoms up.
I can't. How can you? How can you?
Don't cry, Floss. Don't cry.
I can't help it.
How can I try to be happy with all that's out there beyond that window? Be happy? You want to know the truth? I'll tell you. The truth keeps crowding in on me, pressuring me, trying to suffocate me. But I push it away. Because if I didn't, it would suffocate me. Flossie, the truth is, way deep inside me somewhere, I'm scared.
Scared? You?
Doreen. Jack. Well, welcome to the party. Oh, look at you, sweetheart. Dolled up like Marie Antoinette. Careful you don't lose your head tonight. And Jack, hey, you look terrific in that black and white. What's it called?
Domino.
Yeah, that's it. That's what it looks like. Oh, and say, you want to see something really terrific? Take a gander at Flossie, a fairy queen.
You look lovely, Floss.
But white? My dear, you in white.
No, hey, come now. None of that. Not tonight. Tonight, even if it is just for tonight, we're going to stop sniping at each other. Hold it. Wait a minute. We need Nils. He's a guest, too. He's a kind of a serving guest, but still a guest. Nils? Hey, Nils. The party's starting. Come on, join in. Coming. And hurry up. We all want to see what costume you're wearing.
This one, Mr. Manderson.
Yes.
Who do you think you are? Who the devil do you think you are?
I beg pardon, sir?
Your costume, it's blood red.
Suit, shirt, cape, the mask covering your face. All blood red.
The Red Death, Nils?
Yes, sir. The Red Death.
Wait a minute. What are you up to?
Simply turning off the music.
So that's it, is it? You intend to ruin my little party, do you? You come dressed as a Red Death to throw a wet blanket over the fun we're going to have. Well, I'll take care of that right here and now. I'm ripping that costume off you, ripping all of it off. Beginning with the mask. There!
I am not costumed as the Red Death, Milo Manderson. I am the Red Death.
A skull. A blood-red skull. No face. A skull. Blood red.
You are the Red Death. God help me.
God will not help you now, Milo Manderson. There comes a time when mortals must help themselves, and your time has come.
What do you want of me?
You may make a choice I will give you. You may make the choice for good or ill.
Name it. I'll choose what's right, what's good. I swear it to you.
You can choose to live?
Yes.
Or die.
What do you mean, Nils? I'm sorry. That's not your name, of course.
Oh, it will do.
What do you mean? To live or die?
One of you or your father, must die. And the choice I leave to him.
Are you saying that Milo must choose either to give up his own life and save Doreen's, or refuse and let her die?
I am.
Wow. I mean, like, wow.
Nels, what about Floss? What about me?
You have no part in this. When I am gone, as I soon shall be, when I no longer plague the world, you and others like you will be needed to restore it, replenish it.
Me? Him I can understand, but me? I'm nobody. I'm nothing.
And that makes you something. Milo Manderson, what is your choice?
Haven't I anything to say about all this? Haven't I some choice in whether I live or die?
None.
But that's not fair. If my father chooses to let me die to save himself...
But he hasn't. Not yet. Choose, Milo Manderson. Choose.
Father.
I can't die. I can't face death. It's too horrible. The thought is too horrible. Horrible.
Your daughter dies then.
Yes.
What? What was that?
He can't make a choice, don't you see? He hasn't the courage to choose death for himself or for me.
Scared. He said it himself. Deep down inside, scared.
And I never knew in all these years. Never knew. I thought he was the strongest man on earth, but he's just a scared child. He'll take me.
He must make the choice. Choose. Choose.
No. Take her. Take Doreen. She offered, didn't she? She's not afraid. But I am. Look at me. Look, I'm sweating with fear.
Look again. You're not sweating with fear, but with death.
Red. Remember, I sweat. Blood. Red. I...
Stricken, Milo Manderson. Stricken with the Red Death.
But why? Oh, why? You gave me a choice.
And again, you chose the wrong one. You chose to do evil instead of good, as you always have. Always. Now die.
No!
Die. And may your soul go to the hell it deserves.
No!
He flung himself through the window.
Lying out there next to Magda. Oh, Mother.
Easy, Doreen. Easy. Take it easy, sweetheart. Nels, I think... Where is he?
He was there a second ago. But now, just the costume laying in a pile on the floor. He's gone.
Well, let's hope so. Let's hope he's gone forever. Not only from here, but from the world out there.
What world? What's left of it?
There are still some lights burning in the village. And everywhere else, I guess. Those that are left. Maybe God made a choice. And maybe we're part of it. Whether we are or not, the only choice we've got is to go out there and start helping. Start rebuilding, start creating another... and with God's help, a better world.
So ended the masquerade, if you will, of the Red Death. The year 1996 isn't too far off as years go. And as we know, there are men and women in the world today with the foresight to see what lies ahead if the pollution of our air and our water and the very earth itself isn't brought to an end. I'll be back shortly. The strange tale I've just brought you was an allegory, a story designed to symbolize a message, a truth. Of course, it never happened, but it could. Our cast included Stotts Cotsworth, Carl Swenson, Lois Smith, Jack Grimes, and E.V. Juster. The entire production was under the direction of Hyman Brown.